Hi Internet and YouTube. Today I want to be talking about journaling and psychology. It's just an update of what I've been working on lately. So I finally met a psychologist that works with me really well. Um, I've been for me finding a perfect psychologist is like finding a perfect friend or a perfect date or a perfect anything in general, because I'm really bad in finding things, and I'm basically the same way with psychologists and therapists and all that. It's been very hard for me to find the correct therapist or psychologist, and finally I found somebody who is willing to work with me really well. And I think I knew this person. I knew this therapist like a while ago. I guess it would be like 3 years. I know her, but I come out and on and off from traveling from different places. But since the pandemic got here, I came back where I was, and then and yeah, I decided to work with her again. I guess since it's been very recent, since June of this year, 2020, when I began. I'm not sure if it's June or May, but I had her before on Telegram and on and I had contact with her, but I lost contact again. So going back to the theme, this is a very adorable journal. I bought this at a Mexican store. It's a retail store. Believe it or not, it's called Be Careful with the Dog. I know, it sounds pretty funny in English, right? But that's the name of the store, where they sell really cute accessories and necklaces. And it's kind of like Claire's or Lore's in a way. If you go to, like, in the United States, I know they have Claire's. It's kind of like Claire's, only Mexican store. It's called Be Careful with the Dog. I know it sounds funny, but that's the name of the store, and that's where I bought this really cute journal. It's very fluffy, and I even enjoy like how it feels on my skin, because it feels so tender. It looks like I have like a pet. I don't know, like a bird or a hamster or something that's really extremely cute. But believe it or not, it's just a journal. And I know, right? It's really cute. And here I wrote all my deepest, darkest emotions and feelings about everything I've gone through my whole life in general. And I thought this was great. I saw it in my wardrobe, and I had it there for a long time. I brought this with me in different places here in Mexico, where as I started journaling and writing emotions, and different people would see, based on every theme of what I would write. I know this has a lot of details on it, but yeah, this is just barely the entrance to my journaling, which is extremely detailed and spectacular. But I'm not going to share everything about it, because it's extremely personal. And different people have seen, depends on different themes about what I've gone through, from the introduction to the stories to my opinions to, I don't know, the way things work and are, and just really extreme stuff. I guess would be kind of controversial if we were to be talking about it here on YouTube on my channel. But anyways, the people who would see it, I guess I would put a mark on top of the topic or the subject, and then I'll put the name of each person who would see it, and it would just be psychologists, and sometimes a friend, and even my ex-boyfriend, and somebody I really liked in California, but I can't give out the name. I'm not gonna say it, but it's somebody who I liked as a father a lot. So, yeah, different people have seen it, but just the people that really know how to handle psychology, I guess, in a way. And so, yeah, basically most of them are psychologists. Why do I make a story out of something that Yeah. So, yeah, every time I would see something, they would see something, they would just put another mark on it. This is of my ex, but I'm not going to share it because it's too personal. And so every story has a meaning, has a conspiracy, has like a, I don't know, like a theology or something I want to share about it. And my aunt was a writer, a very famous, known writer here in Mexico, in the state of Mexico, in this part where I'm living at right now. And she's very good at publishing, and all her work she publishes it. I mean, she was a chronologist, and she knew a lot about the history of the houses and every detail. I mean, it's very she was very intelligent, and she was very good at everything known here. A lot of people knew her, but I guess I wouldn't publish my work or everything I write, because everything I is too controversial and people will not understand, or I might get even prosecuted by the things I write, because they're based on their strong conspiracies and ideologies I write. So yeah, I wouldn't publish my work. I wouldn't do that. I mean, maybe some work I might publish, but it's just too complicated, and I'm not willing to take the risk for that. Maybe if you encourage me here on YouTube, oh yeah, you should publish your work, or you should be more outgoing with that. Maybe, but I don't know. Just subscribe to my channel, I guess. And so I'm gonna share a very personal story. I probably did show it or expressed it already in my second or third video. I don't really remember, but I mentioned something about somebody I really loved and I had a crush on in junior high school, and all of a sudden they took me away from that school because I was prone to being bullied or whatever, and then I have to see a therapist and all this mental. I was already into the mental system, which is a system which includes anything from boarding housing to forced therapy without your consent and all that. So I was a minor back then, and I met my very, very first therapist when I was 12 years old. My dad just passed away like 2 years after that. And this therapist ended up being a very two-faced person. What do I mean by that? Well, I don't know if you're all familiar in the US, but there's this thing called the 5150 where they place you at a psychiatric hospital without your consent if they feel that you are in danger to yourself or to others. And this therapist wanted to trick me in a way. She said, you can open all your feelings, all your emotions, everything up with me. I won't judge you. I don't care or whatever. And then she asked me these questions like, do you really want to kill yourself? Do you really want to die? Do you really want to hurt these people? Do you really want to not exist at all in this planet? And I just said yes to everything. I said yes, 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 yes. And then when I least inspected it, I saw an ambulance. She just told me, wait 5 minutes. Wait 15 minutes. The 15 minutes turned to hours. Then the hours, what happened? I went outside and I saw the police and the ambulance and all this. It was so scary. That was I was 12 years old when all this happened. And trust me or not, dealing with the police is something you do not want to deal with. And just in general, they are so violent and so terrifying when a police comes. I want to share another story about that, but that doesn't have to do with this thing, but I'll share it on later on. But anyways, that was one of the most traumatizing experiences I've been through, when that was with my first therapist. And I have to confess, I always was afraid of when they do the blood test when they put the butterfly needle in your vein, and then they draw blood. I've always been so terrified about that when I was a child because I don't know. I kind of like related it with ketchup. I told my mom, oh, my mom, or I don't know if it were me or I don't know, but I would say like, just imagine it's ketchup. Just imagine ketchup coming up from your arm or whatever. That was just a way for me to not be so afraid or terrified by blood tests and the butterfly needle especially. But yeah, that's pretty horrific for somebody to go through something like that. And here I just express like just things in general. I think people would kind of assume about me or how I see the world in some way. And then all of a sudden I change it, or I'm kind of like ambivalent. Like ambivalence is like something you really, really want to do or really, really want, but at the same time you don't do it. You don't do any effort. You just don't do anything. And I talk about chaos. I mean, I talk about why things aren't the way I wish they were. As I said that, I think I said that in another video. And then I talk a lot about the internet and people, how nasty and evil they are. I mean, oh my God. This book, I mean, this journal has quite intense stuff. And it also has about my sexuality and like, and things, my observations about like the internet in general, and all the attempts I made to kill myself are written on this book. And I even wrote like, that's what my last piece and subject I'm writing right now. I'm writing about the ocean, like the sea, which is I try to drown myself in the ocean. Like I guess I have like 3 times I tried doing that, and I was a cutter back then when I was a teenager also. But anyways, yeah, like this has pretty intense stuff. And this is like, I know this isn't this great. This is like the mirror. I guess it's like a heart mirror. And it goes well with the heart. But you open the booklet and you see another heart where I drew. This is like the reflection of myself, my psychology. And this is like the introduction. It's written in Spanish. I mean, I can read it to you guys. Like, I'll read it to you and I'll just translate it so you guys will understand. I put introduction. First of all, before nothing, I wanted to dedicate this book, my expressions, my notes, my feelings, and everything to all those loved ones who are reading this journal. I don't think nobody would be interested or about my true feelings, and a lot of people don't really care totally about my inner self, exterior and interiorly. But as you read this, you would consider yourself as a very fortunate person to have your hands on this book. But I'm not going to read more. That's just like the introduction. There's way more, but I'm not going to get too details because it gets more and more intense and more like you want to read through it. I guess I should publish it, but my psychologist is going to keep this, and as well as the other psychologists, they keep it for a while. Then they study it, and then they'll find out the best way to work with you. So this is very nice because my therapist, I mean the new psychologist, the one I've been mentioning, that I found, which I refound again, I guess. She told me, she left me as a homework, or every therapist leaves like a homework you need to do as a patient. And for me, she left me like journaling. And I didn't want, I'm so lazy. I mean, I don't want to rewrite everything and do everything again. And I was lucky enough to find this in my wardrobe, because this is really going to help her a lot to understand where I come from and everything. And look at this. Isn't this so like surreal? This is like on art. This is basically on the last subject or theme I'm working on, based on the ocean and suicide and what I saw after death and everything. It's so surreal. Like, I don't know if you've been to an art museum or anything, if you've seen art anything paintings. This is like a modern art modern subject. Conspiracy, theology, whatever you want to call it. This is definitely classified as a very artistic modern art. I don't know if you could classify it as surreal or not. It has way too much detail, and you can't really see it, I guess, too much into the details because it's too graphic and it has too much information inside of it. But anyways, this would be something you would see in a museum or something, but I guess it's just too personal, graphic, and too much details on it, just too much information. So I can't share so much about it because it's way too personal. I just wanted to show you, like, open up the theme and for you to see for just lesser than 3 minutes. But the book is so tender, it even feels soft in my skin. But the psychologists will definitely be grateful to see this book and this work I'm doing. I'm working on my last work, which is basically about that, the ocean and death, and why I hate and fear the sea so much. Like, I can't really explain so much details of what I saw while I was drowning and everything, but I definitely can say that this book has a little bit about me, and a little piece of it, of me in everything, in every way. Psychology is something that has been so hard for me to understand. And I have to be truthful to you guys. I hate psychology. I hate therapy. I hate having to see a therapist. I always felt like something is wrong with me, or like why I can't fit in with people, or why do I have to see somebody to make me feel better in a way, or what is this gonna do for me? And at the end, I guess I do feel in the end, in the same way. I mean, I still have problems, and I still talk, and the therapist still hears me. But I guess this is a great way for a therapist in general, for you to make you understand better. I guess that goes for anyone in general. If you're struggling to have a better communication with your therapist or your psychologist or whatever, this is definitely a very good way of doing it. Because as I said before, I'm not good in finding the correct therapist or the correct psychologist. I'm pretty bad in finding anybody in general, like friends, relationships, or anything. So yeah. So let me know what you guys think. If you want to share a dreadful experience you had with mental health, or your therapist in the past, or have you changed a lot of therapists, or if you even stayed with the same therapist throughout your whole life, let me know down in the comment box. Subscribe to my channel, and I really hope you like this video. Give likes, and I'll see you all in my next video. Have a great day, and I'll see you whenever I get a chance to make another video. Bye everyone.